So, hi again everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about the guard attitude. First of all, I want to say that this kind of attitude, I'm not saying that it might be the best. I think it's the best, but of course Jiu-Jitsu always can be played in many ways. And this is one that I try to, that I think is really good, and I want people to have, and explain what's my reasoning behind it. So when I talk about the guard attitude, is what you think when you're playing on the bottom, what you want to achieve, and what's the sort of the goal. So for instance, when I talked about on the mount and top control, it was always like, when I get on top, I want to pass the guard. It's always, my goal was always to achieve mount. My goal was to try to get the pass, try to control here, try to move the mount. If he gives me anything in between, yeah, he pushes here, I get the arm somewhere, yeah, I'm going to go and take the arm. So that was the idea that I had on top. That you go for mount, 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 he turns his back, he gives me the arm, he gives me the choke or something, you take it. So in the guard, I have kind of a similar attitude. So in the guard, what I think is a good attitude is to always strive for seated guard. To get into this position. He might be on his knees, he might be standing, he might be on his knees, whatever. I would like to achieve this. And why is that? I think that when you play seated guard, you have the most mobility. When you're here, your hips are free totally. Your back is not against the mat. You can sit up here if you want to. You can do those transitions into takedowns here, and this gives you the most offense, I think, because the other option is you try to play some kind of guard. You either try to go in for butterfly, just playing here, trying to reach for butterfly. Thing is, you're a bit more reactive, I think. This is the worst kind of guard you could do. It's just lay on your back and try to play just with here. He's standing up. He's always initiating things. He's always grabbing your legs. He's always finding those angles. He's always coming in, yeah? So I don't want to do that. I want to be in control. I would like to. If I'm on my back, if I end up somewhere on my back here, I would like to start shrimping up. I would like to post some frames, and I would like to come up. Because otherwise, he will always do things. In other words, it's so much easier when he's laying on his back. I'm almost grabbing his legs here. His arms won't even reach his legs. You know, I'm almost controlling him. I'm initiating stuff, and on the top it's easier. And he's always fighting and struggling, and it's hard. In seated guard, you struggle the least. There's no control here. It's just you're a little bit shrimping, maybe here, just looking for stuff. And now the idea is, when you play seated guard, that from the seated guard, you're going to do your things. So for instance, maybe you want to do play butterfly guard. Maybe you're really good hook sweeps. Yeah, maybe you want to play butterfly guard, yes? But you got to start it from here. You're going to play here, and then you're going to shoot in somewhere and get the good posture immediately. You're in the good posture. You kind of went from seated guard directly to the good posture. You don't start from here, and I'm going to look for underhooks here. Try to just get the underhooks. I'm going to seated guard, I control this. Maybe I pull him and I get the underhook. I'm in a good posture. I turn on my side and I play my butterfly guard. But it's harder to go just laying on your back and trying to achieve that rather than from the seated guard. And a really good example of this kind of attitude is Marcelo Garcia. When you watch when he plays guard, he's always here. The other guy is going to try to he's going to pull his legs up, he's going to get his legs out, he's going to shrink back up. He's going to always get here. He's going to always try to get here. And if something happens in between, if for instance, yeah, I was maybe, yeah, here, he really comes into me. Stop that. Yeah, I'm here. He really comes into me, head in front. Yeah, he pushes me down. Yeah, maybe I take the arm drag here. Maybe I get the guillotine here. I go for the guillotine. If something happens, you know, he gives me something, I'll take it. It doesn't matter where it happens. But it's kind of the attitude that you always, if you don't have anything, you always strive for seated guard. If you don't have anything, get seated guard and then look for your things that you want to do. From there, just shoot in, sort of like go to your good posture, whatever guard posture that is. Is it the butterfly guard? Is it C guard? Whatever it is, it gives you the most control, more freedom and mobility to do stuff. And as I said, Marcelo Garcia is a great example, and one day when I used to try to play different guards, I used to try to play, always try to get one type of guard, just go there. I try to get the X guard, and it's really hard, but seated guard is you can always achieve. When I got that goal, that always come from seated guard and have things start from seated guard, then the guard game got easier, you know. When you're stuck somewhere, you know, say I got close guard, say I ended up somehow in close guard, so I might try to get there. I fail. Let's say he pulls his arms out. Yeah, then I'm gonna try to start getting out of there. I'm gonna start to shrimp out. If he gives me something, he comes on top. Yeah, he tries to push me down. Yeah, he gives me the arm now. Yeah, I'm gonna take the arm down. Maybe go get the back. So, and what from whatever guard, okay. And of course, this doesn't mean that every other type of guard is obsolete. Not at all. You know. It's just everything is connected. You're playing your seated guard, anything can happen. He might push you down. He might push you down here. Maybe I have to play a little bit seated guard, Z guard here. I have to maybe have my Z guard postures. I got to be good at C guard, and maybe I'll go to the butterfly guard, play a little butterfly guard, and then get out of there. You gotta have all the guards, but the idea is always going to the seated guard. And if something happens in between, you take it, and if you're in C guard, you just go do your thing, whatever you want to do from there. So that's the kind of attitude I think is a really good way to play, to have a good mindset to have on the bottom. And yeah, that's basically it. I didn't want to go into too much specifics today. I just wanted to get the idea out, and in the following weeks I'll probably be covering the fundamental postures and pressures from seated guard and the other different guards, how they are all related, and yeah. And the last thing about the open guard is open guard. The guard itself is one of the hardest things to master actually in Jiu-Jitsu, or teach in that fact, because it involves a lot of different postures. You know, you gotta have seated guard. Then you're gonna have this. He's gonna push you somewhere. You gotta play Z guard. You might play butterfly guard, and you have all those postures that there's always connecting, flowing from one type of guard to another, blah, 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 and you gotta be good at everything. For instance, when you do guard passing, I might just teach this one posture, this one leg in front, this nice straight back, always putting weight on it, and I play most of the things I do from here. There's not many different postures. There are some differences, you know. Maybe it goes under my leg here. It goes under my leg. I might have to play a little bit here. There's another posture there. But all in all, the guard is probably one of the hardest things to actually teach and to learn to get good at. And the last thing I wanted to say was that there's a little bit difference when we talk about the gi and the no gi, because in no gi I would want people to go for seated guard. In gi, it's a bit easier, it's a little bit more forgiving, so to speak, because you have those gi grips, you grab it, you play your spider guards here. You can lay on your back a little bit more, because you have better control, because of the gi grips, because of those. You grab the collar here, yeah, you're manipulating him, you're lifting him there. But in no gi, you don't have those. You're always gonna, if you just lay on your back, you're gonna be always reactive, and he's gonna initiate things, and that's not good. You wanna be in control. You wanna shrimp out, come here, do your stuff from here. Whatever that is. Okay, so yeah, so that's the attitude, and the following weeks, as I said, I'll be covering some open guard postures and open guard in general. Yeah, okay. I forgot one little thing. There's somebody asking me a question regarding the mount control. I wanted to shoot it before the open guard stuff, but I'll answer it now. Okay. I think there was a question, you know, when you're in control and he's gonna do he gets your, as I said, you want to connect your feet underneath him, because that way he won't escape. He's always right, running, circling around or rolling around in a hollow pipe. You know, I'm always around him, but never with him. You know, when he turns, yeah, he's like this. Yeah, if my legs are always connected, you know, no matter what he does, if I have my good weight distribution here, my good balance, my good pressures here, he's always like turning around in a hollow pipe, and I'll always be in control if my legs are here. So the escape
So the question was, when he straightens the leg, you know, if he wants to escape, yeah, you gotta find that opening. If there is no opening here, he's gotta find it. He's gonna straighten his leg, and he's gonna just press down on with his back of his thigh and find that opening. So my leg gets exposed. Then he's gonna frame, and now the question was that the other guy's gonna do the leg drag. Yeah, and he's gonna do that escape. How do you still maintain control? I hope that I understood, and that was the question. And the answer is basically, it's what I think I mentioned briefly before as well when I talked about the mount, is every time your leg gets exposed. Right now it's not exposed. You were always trying to keep it underneath him. When he pushes here, you always drive it further deeper underneath his legs. If he's screwed, yeah, he's gonna look for that opening. Stop, he's gonna look for that opening. He's gonna push it down. Stop. Yeah, he's gonna look for that opening when your leg gets exposed. But when your leg gets exposed, then you had to switch to S-mount immediately. You can't stay here. Yeah, whatever he's gonna do. He might pull it up like this, stop, or he might get his like that. He might drag it, or whatever he's gonna do. Your leg is exposed. That's the fact. And now to make your mount safe again, you have to switch to S-mount here. But the thing that might make you easier, if he's a good guy, you know, the thing is, he's pushing, he has this frame here. He wants to push your leg down, okay? So if you bring your knee up, if you bring your leg up, he's kind of pushing the thin air. It's not going to affect anymore. But if he's a good guy, he might adjust his frame and push from here and keep it. Now he could escape. So that's why you got to fight the frames. I didn't talk about that too much in the mount video, but every time you go to the S-mount, he has this frame here. Every time you go to S-mount, you immediately going to fight the arms. You're going to try to pull them up or go underneath. There's many ways. You might, with the gi, you might just grab it with the gi here, pull it up. You might grab the gi here, pull it up. You got to fight it. You might bring it both arms. You got to fight it up because you can't have that frame here. Yes, you switch to S-mount, but you always got to fight the frames here. And one thing is, bringing those arms up, and the other thing that I like to do is like separate him. You see, he wants to be here, he wants to be like really close to him. You see, he wants to be on this side. So when I fight the frames, I also like bring my elbow maybe, and I bring him in and I like straighten him out. Now he's not anymore effectively escaping. I might fight with one arm, I might fight his frames, and with the other one, I separate him. When I have the gi, I usually grab the gi here, and I just slice him a little bit. I slice him because that way I want to put him on his back again and to maintain mount control. Okay. Yeah. So that's the answer. You want to keep them. You want to keep them here. If he fights the opening, you know, he fights the opening. Still try to keep your toes and still like curling underneath his thigh. But if he turns on his side, you gotta switch to S-mount and immediately you gotta fight the frames. Fight the frames here. Put him back on his back. Fight the frames with two arms, with one arm. And separate his head, get him on his back, and come back to mount control. So that's the kind of the answer. Every time your leg get exposed, you got to switch to S-mount. And when you switch to S-mount, fight the frames, separate him, and you'll kind of maintain control. Okay, so that's my answer to that question.